Hello everyone, welcome back. We're going to do a quick swipe. So that first color is a Boom Gel, and that's, I think, Goldfinch Mauve. I'll list it in the description box. I've never used it before. I already had my paint out from the previous swipe I did, and I was upset that that didn't turn out the way I wanted, and I was like, I'm just going to do a negative space swipe. This is Interference Gold and Interference Red Sparkle, just because I really like those two. And I had no plans, so you might see me hesitate to see what I'm going to add. I wanted to try the Mauve Boom Gel because I haven't used it yet, and I really like it a lot. It's a beautiful color. But I had some paint out from my swipe, and then I was thinking, well, I can't exactly use this if I'm going to use some other colors I have in my head. So again, my spinner pool is a little bit messy because I just finished that swipe. But this is Indigo from Matisse. It's such a pretty blue. So is Midnight Blue from Matisse. I buy my Matisse paints at Blick. There's a link to Blick below. And if you shop using our link, it just helps our channel. And I love Blick. I'm forever on that website. So this is a custom mix I used in my previous swipe. It's Greek Isles and Laguna Azul from Colourarte. I mixed them together because I had just a little bit left of both of them, and it created this beautiful color. I think I'll do it on purpose in the future. I know it's difficult for you to see that detail. I really should have shown it up close, but I was trying to hurry because I had already been messing around for a long time. This I hate swiping in the puppy pool because when you go to use the palette knife, like, your hand is up higher than, it's not level with your spinner. So I usually take the spinner out and just put some guards up, but I didn't, and when you'll see, I messed up the first half of the swipe because of it. This is Luna from the new Bling It set from Colourarte. It's like a smoky pearl with a violet shift. It's a beautiful color. And then I think I'm trying to figure out what I want to use next. So I hope you guys are not bored with these negative space swipes, because I really need to practice them, and I really love them when they go well. This is Parrotfish Green Boom Gel, one of my favorite colors. Don't forget, you can save 20% off of anything on the Colourarte website using my code below. And also 15% off for Boom Gels from Pixel Paint Designs. She also carries Australian Floetrol, and she's here in the US, so great deals for you. Love to give you guys the ability to save on things you're probably going to buy anyway, so don't forget to check out that description box. This is Chalcedony. I'm pretty sure I'm saying this wrong, but it is from the new Bling It set, and it is gorgeous. I used it in the clock face swipe that I did a week or so ago, and it really pops under resin, let me tell you. And let's see, I think that's one of the last colors I list. That might be it. And what I did is I was almost out of blue black cell activator, and it had thickened up. So I put the remnants in my black cell activator. So I'm swiping with lamp black from Amsterdam, but it has a touch of blue black in it just because I didn't want to waste it. So I just threw it in the other one. And I know I just popped some bubbles. I think I'm looking for my swipe tool at this point. This one actually turns out pretty cool. So the day that I did this one is the same day that I did the swipe that came out Sunday, that I was not crazy about. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't my favorite. So you know how, like, when you have a bad time, you kind of need a win before you, like, give up for the day. So if you have time to do something really quick that will likely be successful, you hope, right? Then it's kind of worth 15 to 20 minutes, 30 minutes if you're going to end the day going, a win. So I just put the cell activator on my tool. You can see how this was not the greatest swipe because of what I was telling you guys a minute ago. I'm swiping down into the puppy pool, which is lower than, it's not level with my arm. So I feel like I have to kind of push against it, and that causes you to dip into the pillow paint. Thankfully, I like pillow cells, but I was like, oh no, it's happening again. Like the day when I used those 3 colors and I had to swipe it 3 times. I was like, not again. I'm just going to go sit down. But thankfully, I picked it up and I was able to somewhat redeem it. But that's how I end up getting some pretty big cells with this one because of having to kind of tilt some of that excess white off. And it wasn't the greatest swipe on my part, mostly just because it started off kind of wonky and this one was a little too even across the side, but I think it ends up working out nicely. Pardon my big head. And I'm pretty sure I drug my hair right in the pillow paint. I always do. I got paint on my glasses and paint on my nose. So messy. Oh well. But my husband happened to be in the room or come out in the room when I was finishing this one, and he was like, that's cool. So I was not going to like scrape it or anything, but if you follow this channel, you know my husband saves a lot of the paintings. He also sometimes saves me from overworking them because I'll ask him, do you think I should do something about this right here? And he's like, no, leave it alone. Put everything down and stop messing with it. Okay. So all I'm doing here is taking the narrow end of that skewer and kind of taking the parts that look overly wispy around the edges and kind of unstructured and sort of connecting them in a line that makes sense. Because as you spin those out, they're going to continue to be very unstructured. And so you can find that it really messes up your composition. So I like to just gently connect the really wispy parts first. So that's the thicker part of my skewer. And I always end up with that weird pointy line, and then I fight with it for 15 minutes. So that's what I'm doing now. I sped this up a little bit for the sake of the fact that there was some times where I was like, what color am I going to use next? You know? So I really applaud you guys who can just make those go away. It never works for me. I'll think I've got it, and then it does that. So I just kind of left it alone for a second. And again, that was the thicker side of the stirring stick. I really like using those because you can use the skewer to do small things and the thicker side to create larger lines. And, you know, they're pretty reasonably priced, and I reuse the same one until I really can't anymore. So it's kind of neat. All right, so you see we have a lot more detail on the side that's closest to me, but I don't really mind that because it's not like the side furthest away from me has no color. It has color, has a little bit more pillow cells. So what I'm working towards is I'm going to gently scoot the design down a little bit and see if we can't even it out without getting really wonky cells. I did put a little bit, well, I don't know if it was too much pillow paint, but I had a lot bigger cells on this one than I normally do, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But that was kind of the result. Was some of it was the tilting, some of it was spinning. So yeah, I'm just doing a little embellishing just to get some interest and detail. I'm also trying to make sure that we don't have one side that's super wide and the other side that's super narrow. Of course, that's what happened with one of my swipes recently. I obviously had quite a bit on the surface because a lot flew off. So I don't know if you guys can see the dragon face or the bird face yet. It's not really intended, but it was one of the first things my husband said is, oh, it looks like a dragon with its wings open or something. I was like, you know, or a bird. I was like, man, I'm always making birds. And the more you spin it, the more it looks like it has an eye. It's crazy looking. Obviously that wasn't intended, but look at those beautiful colors. That mauve color is a really pretty color, and it plays really well with those other colors. So far, I really dig these boom gels, and I love the way they look with the Colourarte colors. So I'm so happy that I tried them. And what I did personally is I ordered some small bottles to see which colors I really, really like and I'll use a lot. And then I'll probably order some larger ones. And that allowed me to maybe sample a few more than I normally would if I just used certain colors. So that's what I did. And I'm going to have to take a look soon and pick up some more Australian Floetrol from her. And I've compared my prices on boom gels and Australian Floetrol, and I would say that her prices are very competitive and very reasonable. So, and she's a delight to work with. And if you guys have not checked out this Bling It set, you will not be sorry. They are so gorgeous from Colourarte. I have the link to the new set specifically in the description box. And if you go to the Colourarte site, you can also see a comparison of what they look like in resin and what they look like in acrylic. And oh, they're so pretty. I used 2 of them on a vase, and I still have to do some things to the vase, and that video will be out in the next week or 2, but they're so beautiful. I also am thinking about buying some glass top tables and doing a resin project on the top of them and flipping them and selling them. So if that works out, of course, I'll record that, and it would be fun to use the Bling It colors. So here's our close-up. You can see the little details and the sparkle. Check that out. That sparkle's delicious. I love those pillow cells. I really do. Of course, they're really lacing. But there's our little head. So weird. It even looks like it has scales on the bottom. How weird. And I like what we ended up doing on the bottom there with the details. So stay tuned for the dry result. I think it's dry, so I'm going to take a little clip for you. Let me know what you guys think below. Love to hear what you think about this piece. Here comes the dry result. Sorry about my dogs. All right, everybody, here's our dried result. You can see it dried very beautifully, and it's hard to show you without getting a glare, but under resin, these colors are gonna pop. You can see that interference color right there, and right there, and up here. And here's our little weird bird, or reptile head. So looks like a tail. So did not do that on purpose, but it's kind of funny how that happens, right? So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for all of you watching. If you don't subscribe, I would love for you to subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Feel free to join our Fluid Art group. The link is below. Appreciate everyone very much. Have a great day. Bye.